to roam the planet. Fossils have allowed us to analyse clues frozen in time. Pieces of a puzzle that allow us a glimpse of what life was like back then. Just wait and see where they might take us. Back to a world where mountainous herbivores fought for survival against terrifying predators. Come with me on an extraordinary adventure. You won't even have to leave your seat. Welcome to Wild Zoological Park, and welcome to Wild World of Dinosaur! So, where are we? How far back have we travelled? Well, imagine when your parents were kids, and when your grandparents were kids, or imagine when your great-grandparents were kids. Take all of that and multiply by 3 million, and we're beginning to get close. There's no roads, there's no houses. It's just a landscape dominated by ferns. No flowers. There's no ice caps, no Europe, no Asia. Just a single continent called Pangaea. All this vegetation is great for the herbivores, especially the giants. It sounds like there's one on the approach. Yes, who is this? It's a Brachiosaurus. I've always wanted to see one of these up close. This one looks like a juvenile that's been separated from the herd. When fully grown, a Brachiosaurus stands at 12 meters tall. That's as high as a 3-story building. He'll stretch to 20 meters long. That's the length of 2 buses. And he'll weigh more than 30 tons. That's heavier than 10 adult elephants. But how on earth does he get to be that big? The moment he hatches out of an egg the size of a football, Brachiosaurus begins a lifelong obsession with eating, and that allows him to gain up to 1 ton a year. He's got an awful lot to say for himself, hasn't he? Yes, I think he's hungry. On a diet of just ferns, Brachiosaurus can somehow put away 800 pounds of food per day. But a giant dinosaur eating giant amounts of food can only mean one too pleased with yourself. That's right though, you might want to rename Brachiosaurus to the Gaseosaurus. Paleontologists believe that the gassy emissions of these dinosaurs were responsible for global warming at the time. Researchers found that the greenhouse gas methane produced by all herbivorous dinosaurs at the time was about 520 million tons per year. In fact, one single Brachiosaurus fart was enough to fill a full-size hot air balloon. Uh-oh, he's on the move. It looks like he's turning around. I've got bad news for you. Hold on to your hats, folks. You've got the back end. Well, it looks like he's off. Probably to find more And just like that, the winds change. No pun intended. Let's move forward about 30 million years. A lot can happen in 30 million years. The Jurassic gave way to the Cretaceous period. The continents are on the move as usual, and a new ocean has formed, dividing the Americas from Europe and Africa. It'll come to be known as the Atlantic Ocean. Only one group of reptiles could possibly bridge this watery gap and cross the continents. For nearly 80 million years, flying reptiles have soared over the Earth. These pterosaurs now dominate the skies. More recently, though, these extraordinary creatures are starting to get bigger. One of the largest is Ornithoceros. A huge wingspan. Her bones are hollow to keep her lightweight, and her wings give her plenty of square meters to catch the wind. She can glide 40 miles from the top of a cliff, or rise on thermals from volcanic geysers. This spectacular pterosaur can spend hours on the wing. She can easily cross between continents, gliding over oceans in search of food. There's nowhere to stop and refuel out on the open ocean, so she simply feeds on fish along the way. Flying just above the water, she swoops down and skewers her prey. There's a storm. And a huge glider like this has got to find somewhere safe to roost. Will she make it? Land at last. Hopefully safety, or so she thinks. She can sense something. Raptors. She may be master of the air, but she's vulnerable on land, so she'd better fly off for safety. Raptors. They know they have the advantage on land, and it sounds as though there's one close by. Raptors are intelligent predators, sometimes working in teams. They're lethal killers. You wouldn't want to run into a raptor in a dark alley. They're speedy, strong, and agile. There's one approaching, and it might be a big one too. This could be a Dromaeosaurus or a Utah raptor. Remain calm and don't make any sudden movements. Here she is, the Utah raptor! This one is just a little baby. And on the subject of little, contrary to popular belief, most raptor species were actually quite small. And believe it or not, they also had feathers, which might not come as a surprise if you know that they shared a common ancestor with birds. For instance, the Velociraptor was a feathered dinosaur about the size of a turkey with a large brain and excellent motor skills. This one, though, is a young Utah raptor. The Utah raptor is the largest and most deadly of all the raptor species. However, if the baby is here, it must mean that Mum isn't far behind. Here she is, the Utah raptor. A heavy-bodied bipedal carnivore. Look at her skull. It's much more boxy and elongated, much larger than that of the Velociraptor, or even the Dromaeosaurus. She measures about 23 feet and weighs in at over a ton in weight. Aligned with serrated teeth. Look how she holds her arms close to her body. These raptors are distinguished by large curving claws. You don't want to get in the way of those, or in between mother and baby. Who is big enough to triumph? It'll take something extraordinary, the epitome of predatory dinosaurs. most notorious dinosaur to ever live, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex is the ultimate predator, perfectly evolved to kill and eat other dinosaurs. A fully grown T-Rex can swallow 140 pounds of meat in a single mouth. Watch out, front row, this one doesn't seem happy. Fully grown T-Rex is 12 meters long. The brain is twice as big as other giant carnivores. 50 razor-sharp teeth line the mouth. And this one can run at speeds of 20 kilometers an hour. The ultimate predator. Of course, no matter how well evolved the dinosaurs are, how big they are, how big their teeth or claws are, all their power and strength counts for nothing in the face of what's to come. An event that no creature can prepare for.
Meteor.
A comet 6.5 miles wide, travelling at 20 miles per second. It's hurtling towards a shallow sea in an area that will come to be known as the Gulf of Mexico. Who could imagine the impact of 100 million megatons as it hits the Earth? Dust clouds block out the sun, the destruction of 65% of life on this planet, including the giant dinosaurs. We think of dinosaurs as long-lost creatures from a mythical world, but they ruled this very planet for 175 million years. Humans have been here for just a fraction of that time. You might think dinosaurs are gone, but look closely. You'll see they're not really gone at all. Not completely. Remember what we learned about raptors. Look outside. Look at birds. Don't mourn the dinosaurs. They're with us still, right here today. They're direct descendants of birds. Thank you for joining us for Wild World.